So we want to look at all the equations that you need to be able to solve for this exam. What I can suggest is perhaps to first try a question and then look at the solution afterwards. Let's look at A. So 6a minus 8 equals 16. We can take the negative 8 to the right hand side. So 16 plus 8 will be 24. And now we divide the 6 into the right hand side. So 24 divided by 6 is 4. Let's look at B. So we have 8x plus 3 equals 3x minus 22. We bring all our x's to the left hand side. So 8x minus 3x is 5x. We can take the 3 to the right hand side. It becomes negative. So negative 22 minus 3 is negative 25. And now we can divide the 5 here into the right hand side. So negative 25 divided by 5 is negative 5. Let's look at C. So it's 2/3 x minus 1 equals x. Here we have a fraction. So we always first try and get rid of the fraction by multiplying through by the LCD. Now remember that this is actually negative 1 over 1 and this is x over 1. The LCD here is 3. So we multiply through by 3. So 2/3 times 3, 2/3 times 3 over 1. Of course here the 3's will cancel and we're left with 2. So it's 2x minus, then 1 times 3 is 3 and x times 3 is 3x. We can bring the x's to the left hand side. And the numbers we can take to the right hand side. So negative 3 to the right hand side. Then 2x minus 3x is negative x. There's a 1 here next to the x that we don't write. So we can divide negative 1 into the right hand side. Then 3 divided by negative 1 is negative 3. Let's look at the last one here. So 3 into x minus 1. Minus 4x. Equals, and we have 5 minus 2 into x plus 1. We're first going to multiply out the brackets. So 3 times x minus 1 is 3x minus 3. We're going to multiply the negative 2 into the brackets here. A minus times a plus is a minus. And 2 times 1 is 2. Now we first add all the x's on the left hand side. So 3x minus 4x is minus 1x, or just minus x. Here we're first going to simplify by adding the numbers. So 5 minus 2 is 3. Now we bring all our x's to the left hand side. So negative x plus 2x. And we can take the negative 3 to the right hand side. So 3 plus 3. Then negative x plus 2x is x, And 3 plus 3 is 6. Once again, try each question before you look at the answer. So let's look at A. We need to solve each of these equations. We always start by putting everything or writing everything as fractions. So I'm going to write 5 as 5 over 1. And this I'm going to write over 1. Now we find the LCD. The LCD here, of course, is 9. So we basically multiply through by 9. So it's x over 9 multiplied by 9 minus 5 over 1 multiplied by 9. And then on the right hand side, it's 3 into x plus 4 over 1 multiplied by 9. Here the 9's will cancel and we're left with x. Then 5 times 9 is 45. Here we're going to multiply 9 by 3, which is 27. Then into x plus 4. So just rewriting the left-hand side. We're going to multiply out here. 27 times x is 27x. And then 27 times 4, we can do this on a calculator. It comes to 108. Now we bring all our x's to the left-hand side. So x minus 27x is negative 26x. We can take the 45 to the right-hand side. So 108 plus 45, that's going to give us 153. Then the last step here is to divide negative 26 into the right-hand side. So our final answer will be negative 153 over 26. Let's look at B. Once again, we're going to start by writing 13 over 1 as well. So as a fraction as well. We find the LCD. In this case, the LCD is 36. So we multiply through by 36. So we have x minus 5 over 4 multiplied by 36 minus 3 minus 4x over 9 multiplied by 36, then 13 multiplied by 36. So 4 into 36, 9 times. So we have 9 times x minus 5 minus, here 9 into 36, 4 times. Then we have 4 times 3 minus 4x. Then on the right hand side, we can do this on a calculator. Just waiting on my calculator. So 36 times 13. That's 468. So 468. We can multiply out here as well as over here. 4 times 3 is 12. Then a minus times a minus is a plus. 4 times 4x is 16x. Now we can add like terms on the left-hand side. 9x plus 16x is 25x. Negative 45 minus 12 is negative 57. We can take the negative 57 to the right-hand side. So we have 468 plus 57. So 468 plus 57. That's 525. Then the last step here is to divide the 25 into the right-hand side. So 525 divided by 25. And it comes to 21. Let's look at C. Once again, we're going to start by writing everything as fractions. So 13 we can write as 13 over 1. 3x we can write as 3x over 1. Now we find the LCD. In this case, of course, it's 15. So we're going to multiply through by 15. Then 3x times 15 is 45x. Here, 5 into 15 thrice. So x times 3 is 3x. This we can do on a calculator. So 13 times 15 is 195. So 195. Then on the right hand side, 3 into 15 5 times. So 5 times 2x plus 1. We can add these two terms. So 48x. Here we can multiply the 5 into the brackets. Now we bring all our x's to the left-hand side. So 48x minus 10x is 38x. We can take the 195 to the right-hand side. So 5 plus 195 is 200. Now we divide 38 into 200. And we can use the calculator. So 200 divided by 38 is 5.26. If you're not allowed to use a calculator, you could write it as 200 over 38 and then simplify. For example, 200 divided by 2 is 100 and 38 divided by 2 is 19. So this would be your final answer. Let's look at D. Once again, we multiply through by the LCD. In this case, of course, the LCD is 12. So we multiply through by 12. Then multiplying each term by 12, in other words, by the LCD. So here 4 into 12 thrice. And then we multiply the 3 by x minus 2. Then we have 3 into 12 4 times. And multiplying x plus 1 by 4. On the right hand side, the 12s will cancel. And we're left with x minus 2. Now we can multiply out on the left-hand side. We can first add like terms on the left-hand side. So 3x minus 4x is minus x. Minus 6 minus 4 is negative 10. We can bring all our x's to the left-hand side. So minus x, or negative x minus this x. We can take the negative 10 to the right-hand side. It becomes positive 10. So negative 2 plus 10 will give us 8. Negative x minus x is negative 2x. And finally, we can divide the negative 2 into the right-hand side. So 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4. So let's use the cross method to solve these quadratic equations with. So in A, we have x squared plus 9x plus 14 equals 0. When we use the cross method, we always start by drawing a cross. So let's do that. Now, the factors of the first term in the equation, in other words, in this case, the factors of x squared will always go at the top of the cross. And we know that x times x will give us x squared. Now we consider the factors of 14. It's 1 and 14 and 2 and 7. So 14 has two sets of factors. Now the factors of the third term, in this case 14, will always go at the bottom of the cross. The question, however, is which set of factors will we use? Will we use 1 and 14 or 2 and 7? The answer to that question is that we look at the coefficient of x in our middle term. The coefficient of x here is positive 9, but for now we can ignore the sign. So we're interested in getting a 9. Now we look at the sum of and the difference between each set of factors. So let's first look at 1 and 14. The sum of 1 and 14 is 15, which isn't 9. And the difference between 1 and 14 is 13, which is also not 9. Let's look at 2 and 7. The sum of 2 and 7 is 9. So we know that we're going to use 2 and 7. So these go at the bottom of the cross. The next step now is to cross multiply. So x times 7 is 7x. And x times 2 is 2x. We need to get a middle term of positive 9x. The only way that 7 and 2 can give us positive 9 is if both of them are positive. So positive 7x plus 2x will give us positive 9x. How did we get 7x? We said x times 7. And 7x is positive, so we'll put a plus here. How did we get 2x? We said x times 2, and 2x is also positive, so we need another plus here. The next step is to group vertically. So x and plus 2 together, and then x and plus 7 together. So x plus 2 will go in one set of brackets. And x plus 7 in a second set of brackets. A very important step at this stage is to check that our factorization here is correct. And we can do so by multiplying out these brackets to see that we get back the original left-hand side of this equation. So x times x is x squared. Positive 2 times positive 7 is positive 14. Then we have positive 2x plus 7x will give us positive 9x. We can always do this step mentally. Now we apply the zero product rule. So x plus 2 is equal to 0, or x plus 7 is equal to 0. And solving for x, we see that x is negative 2, or x is negative 7. Let's look at b. We have y squared plus 4y minus 12 equals 0. Once again, we can start by drawing a cross. The factors of y squared, the first term, will go at the top of the cross. So y times y is y squared. Let's consider the factors of 12. It's 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. We need to get a middle term of positive 4y. So we look at the coefficient of the middle term. In this case, it's positive 4, but for now we can ignore the sign. We want to get a 4 here. Let's look at the sum and difference of each set of factors. Firstly, 1 and 12. The sum of 1 and 12 is 13, which isn't 4. And the difference between 1 and 12 is 11, which is also not 4. So we know that we won't use 1 and 12. Let's use 2 and 6. The sum of 2 and 6 is 8, which isn't 4. But the difference between 2 and 6 is 4. So we know that we're going to use 2 and 6. And as we said before, the factors of the third term will always go at the bottom of the cross. So 2 and 6. Now we cross multiply. Y times 6 is 6y. And y times 2 is 2y. We need to get a middle term of positive 4y. The only way that 6 and 2 can give us positive 4 is if the 6 is positive and the 2 is negative. How did we get 6y? We said y times 6 and 6y is positive, so we need a plus here. How did we get 2y? We said y times 2 and 2 is negative, so we need a minus here. Now we can group vertically. So y minus 2 will be in one set of brackets, and y plus 6 in another set of brackets. Very important now to check that when we multiply out the brackets, we get back the original equation. So y times y is y squared. Negative 2 times positive 6 is negative 12. Then negative 2y plus 6y is positive 4y. So our factors are correct. Now we can use the zero product rule. So y minus 2 is 0, or y plus 6 is 0. Then solving for y is equal to 2, or y is equal to negative 6.